Hey guys, so I have my 38 to 39 week update. This is going to be my very last one because I am sure that my son is going to come this week or next week. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I am holding on for dear life right now. Okay, so last time I spoke, I told you guys I had lost my mucus plug. I have still been releasing from time to time, just kind of spotting, like brownish, kind of mucusy stuff just coming out. I've been wearing pads and things like that. It's not to the point where it's red, like I'm really bleeding kind of blood. It's just part of your cervix thinning out. So far, last time they checked me, I'm between 4 to 5, almost 5 centimeters dilated, and I'm 90% effaced, which means how thin the cervix has gotten. So I'm right there, ready to go. He is in position and ready to come out. We're just waiting for him to make his grand appearance, either for my water to break or for my contractions to start up. My midwife has checked me and everything seems to be going smooth. She thinks that my labor will not be an extended one. I pray and I have my fingers crossed that she is right. I am trying to do as much labor as I can at home before going to the hospital, so I am trying to wait it out. That being said, last Friday I had my first little scare. I had a false labor, kind of like the strongest one that I've gotten so far. I've had like little mini false labors, but I knew that they weren't real because the contractions were really sporadic. With last Friday, I was at work and around 5:30 I started getting lots of cramping, like period cramping, and I thought, you know, I'm gonna be fine. Then all of a sudden I started getting contractions and I started timing them, and they were around like 30 seconds each. They were lasting, they were coming like every 10 to 15 minutes more or less, and it got to the point that I got, you know, a little scared. Being a first-time mom, you're like, you don't know what to expect, when it's gonna happen, if it's the real thing or not. So I left work early, came home, took a shower, we got everything in the car, and I said, okay, let's just wait it out. Let's just see how it goes. And then they started progressing more and I started feeling them a lot more. They started coming more frequently, around like, some were like every 5 minutes, every 7 minutes. So I got in the car, we went to the hospital, they checked me, I was still between 4 to 5, and they said, you know, we're gonna get you to walk. So I walked around like 2 or 3 hours, and they checked me again, and he hadn't really come down even more, like dilated anymore. So they were gonna admit me, but I knew if I got admitted, more than likely I was gonna be induced. So they said, you know, we can admit you and you can walk for a few more hours and we can see how it goes from there. But by then it was already 4 o'clock in the morning and I was exhausted. So I decided that it would just be better for me to go home. They spoke with my midwife and she said that that was fine. She told me to just keep walking all day. They really told me, you know, we expect you to be back tonight. He probably will come tonight. So Saturday, I spent the whole day walking. I was still getting like pain and contractions. Then all of a sudden, around 2 or 3 in the afternoon, they just like got further and further apart. And then all of a sudden I wasn't in pain or wasn't feeling anything. He was just like, I'm just gonna chill in here a little bit more. So I had this false labor come and go. They checked me again on Saturday. I was still around 4 to 5. I told her I don't have any contractions. Can I just go back to work? Sadly, they had already found people to replace me on the weekend, so I wasn't able to work. So Monday I went back to work, and then today is Tuesday, which is my day off. So I am just waiting. I have a few days off and then I go back to work and work this weekend. Hopefully he doesn't give me another scare like this. It's just very frustrating because you don't know if it's real, if it's not real, is it, you know, what's going on. And I really felt like it was the real thing just because of how the contractions were coming and they were, you know, I was able to time them and everything. But apparently my midwife says that it's false labor. Sometimes, you know, babies do that. They give you like this false sense and then it'll go away. So apparently I was in false labor on Friday night. So that totally sucked because I was like preparing myself mentally like, this is it. This is going to be the time he's going to come. I'm going to see my baby. And I was like, just trying to breathe through the contractions, trying to like get myself ready for the whole thing. And then it wasn't real. So that's how far I've gotten now. As far as any other symptoms, I just feel like I'm really starting to get really swollen. I don't know if you guys can just tell, like in my face, my lips, I feel like are looking more swollen, just like more puckered. Just overall, my whole body just feels just like that. Like, I just feel like that's what I feel like. Also, the heat, I'm sorry, I'm gonna fan myself a little bit. The heat is incredible. I mean, I am someone who has always been like, I'm freezing. I'm always that person who needs to take a jacket to the movie theaters. I am always like cold, 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 cold. The last month and a half has been unbearable for me. Like, I have to get in the car, put on the air conditioning at home, and I need like fanning. I just like am in heat. I don't know if you guys can tell, like I'm already starting to sweat because of these freaking lights. Okay, I hope that hair wasn't up that whole time. So yeah, okay, calm down. So I'm sorry I'm fanning myself, but I just can't with the heat. It's incredible. I don't know if it's the hormones, but I always feel like I'm on fire, like I am, just like in midsummer's heat. And right now my house is like at 73 degrees, which usually my husband and me would sleep at that, at that temperature. And now I have to bring it down to like 69, 70 because I am so warm and it just feels like my whole body's on fire. I don't know if everyone's like that, but for me, it's just been like, ugh. So people say all the time, like, you have this glow, but I don't know if it's just sweat or it's the real glow. So yeah, just be aware of that. If you are towards the end, you might just feel like this rush of heat from your body. Okay, so last thing that I want to talk about were some of the products that I have been loving. I used up my Burt's Bee, the oil that I used up from them, and I'm on the second belly butter. I really, really love this. It has shea butter and vitamin E, and I just love the way it just absorbs into the skin. I used up one tub, and this is my second tub. This will probably last me the last 2 weeks of my pregnancy, obviously. Like I said, I used up the Mama Bee oil. I totally recommend that. I will put the name down below. It's my all-time favorite. It smells like lemon. I had bought 3 of them at the beginning of my pregnancy, if you've been watching my pregnancy vlogs, and I finally used up the last one. I also used up the Palmer's Cocoa Butters oil as well. So I went ahead and bought a new one, and I've heard so much about this sucker right here, the bio oil, that I went ahead and bought the big one off of Amazon. I have the Prime, so I didn't have to pay shipping or anything. This stuff I love. So far, I haven't used that much of it, as you can see there. I've only been using it a couple days, but what I do love about this is that it doesn't stain your clothes. I haven't had issues with staining of the clothes because it dries and absorbs really nicely. You do have to wait a little while for it to absorb, but then it leaves your skin super, super soft, and it doesn't stay oily. With my other oils, like you could tell that my belly was like super shiny, and you could tell that how oily it was and it looked. So it did absorb, but it stayed on the skin on the outside. With this, I feel like it really, really does absorb, and then it just stays like really soft and smooth on the outside, and that way it's easier for me to get dressed. So I really, really love this, and I'm gonna continue using this whole bottle up until after my labor and everything, because of the stretch marks and all the marks that I have. That being said, let me go ahead and show you guys my belly bump so you guys can see it for one last time. I am wearing this shirt, but then I'm wearing pajamas just because I gotta be comfortable. Okay, so here is my belly shot. As you can see, I've gotten quite a few more stretch marks down here on the lower half. I don't feel like it's too bad. I just keep applying oil and taking care of it, and hopefully they will become thinner afterwards. I don't know if you guys can tell, but this side is kind of like inward and this side's outward. Last time that they checked, his butt and his whole like back is here. He's like this way, and then his head is down here like really low, which is so funny. And from time to time he'll move and like it'll become like further out and in. And so yeah, so most of his butt and everything is over here, and that's why most of my pregnancy, like, he's been on this side, his butt, and he's facing downward, so he's kind of like that. And then once he's in, it's like from time to time the whole thing will shift and become like really straight here, and that's when he's like getting into position to come straight down. But for the most part he likes to be kind of sideways, which is so funny. And I had been noticing that my belly was always like looking sideways, and it's because of that. That's what my midwife was showing me last time, which was really funny to see. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the side shot. These stretch marks are still red. I've still been applying like all kinds of oils and things like that. Like I said, I expected to get stretch marks during my pregnancy. It's just something that comes with the territory, and I'm perfectly fine with it. My husband does not care, and he thinks that I'm beautiful anyway. So yeah, so here is my very last belly shot. As you can see, he's gotten a lot bigger. Of course, the midwife says that he has gained quite a bit of weight, so he's probably between like 7 pounds now. So we'll see how big he comes out, if he comes out this week or next week. And yeah, so here is the belly shot. Also, I wanted to go ahead and clarify that I am having my baby with a midwife, but I am having my baby at a hospital. I feel like a lot of people, when they hear midwife, they think I'm gonna have like a at-home birth or a pool birth or one of those all-natural things. What I wanted to do was have somebody who would encourage me to have a more natural birth. I don't know if I'm gonna have an epidural or not. I haven't completely gone against it. I haven't gone for it completely. I'm just kind of in between. I am at the point where I just want to wait and see. I would like to avoid it if all possible. If I feel like it's something that I just can't handle, of course I will do it. I don't feel like it's something to be frowned upon or anything like that. It's just a personal choice to want to try to do as much of a natural labor as possible. So if you have any tips for that, let me know down below. My midwife has been very, very helpful in giving me all kinds of help and, you know, advice and just suggestions of things that I should do to try to labor as much as I can at home before going to the hospital. So so I just wanted to clarify that, because I know a lot of people, when they hear midwife, they automatically think that you're having your baby at home like back in the day. But no, midwives do work in the hospitals as well, and I am absolutely in love with my midwife. She is so calming and just very helpful and just spectacular, and I love the fact that she really respects, you know, and tries to help when you want to have more of a natural birth. So and yeah, so that was it for my 38-39 week update. Hopefully next time I see you guys, I will be giving you guys my labor and delivery story and showing you guys my little man. We are super, super excited and blessed to have this baby come into our lives, and we're just like anxiously waiting for him, and I just can't wait to finally meet him face to face. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, for being so supportive during this whole process. For those of you who have really been like on baby watch and have been so supportive even on Snapchat and have been writing to me and just messaging me about my baby and just being really encouraging. So I love you guys to death. Thank you guys for all your positivity. If you want to be part of my channel, I will be including a lot of more, like, I will still be doing beauty stuff, but I will be including more baby related and just like mommy kind of experiences as well on my channel. So if you want to subscribe, hit that little red button. And for those who have been subscribed and just have been so supportive, I love you guys. And until next time, bye guys.